How you going? It's your boy Fire Breathman back with another epic parkour tutorial. Today we're going to talk about some notation for jumps. It's actually kind of important to know this, and let me explain why. You see, beginner parkourists tend to have unusual names for jumps. For example, this 4-block jump, beginners like to call this quad jumps or quad, but the weird thing is that even when it's 3 blocks and then 1 up, they still call it a quad, which is kind of unusual even though these are completely different jumps. And one of my personal favorites is when they call this jump a wraparound. It's funny seeing all these variations of names that people make up, but it's important that we standardize this sort of thing. And for the remainder of this video, I'll be introducing you to the commonly used system for jump notation. I've split portions of the notation into 3 different categories to introduce to you separately, which are the distance of the jump, the momentum, and the extra components. So let's start with the jump distance. The distance of a linear jump is just the number of blocks between the start and the end block. So for example, here there's 1 block between the start and the end, so this is a 1-block jump, commonly called a 1B, where the B means block. Similarly, this is a 2B because there's 2 blocks, this is 3B and 4B. Most jumps aren't flat though, so the next component of the distance is how high or low it is. This jump is a 2B because there's 2 blocks between it, but it goes up by a block, so we call it a 2B plus 1, or a 2 plus 1. Similarly, this is a 3-block jump, so it's a 3B, but it goes up by a slab, which is half of a block, so it's a 3 plus 0.5. And then this one, it goes down by a slab, so this is a 3 minus 0.5. The last part of the jump distance is how sideways it goes. So the first thing you want to do is count how far forward it goes normally, so 1, 2, 3, so this is a 3-block jump, and then do the same thing but in the other direction, 1, 2. So this is 3 by 2, also called 3x2. Similarly right here, this one's a 2-block jump, but it goes over 1, there's a 1-block gap here, so this is a 2 by 1. And one more example, this one, it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so this is a 3 by 3. This one's a little special case, because although it's a 2-block jump, it goes over like right there would be where a 2 by 1 would be, but it's right here. This one you could call it a 2 by 0, but you can also just call this a 2B since you can just do it straight normally anyway. That's all for jump distance. Now we're going to move on to the momentum. Momentum refers to the setup that you have before the jump itself. This is important because this far right jump is obviously a lot easier than this leftmost jump because you have more momentum to work with. For this first one, you have 1 block of momentum, abbreviated as 1bm, and if you put it all together knowing that this is a 4-block jump, then you get 1bm 4b. Similarly, this is a 2bm 4b, and this is a 3bm 4b. Diagonal momentum is also pretty straightforward. First, you have 1 block of momentum in this direction, 1 block in this direction, so it's 1 by 1 bm, and then the jump itself is a 2 by 2. So this is a 1 by 1 bm, 2 by 2. And then here's another example. This one is 2 by 2 bm, even if it doesn't quite look like that because these 2 blocks are missing. And then this is a 3 by 3, so this is a 2 by 2 bm, 3 by 3. And then one last example. This is 2 blocks of momentum straight, 1 block sideways, and then you have 4-block jump over 1. So this is a 2 by 1 bm, 4 by 1. Let's talk about some extra components. The first one is ceilings. You can have a ceiling on the momentum, or you can have a ceiling on the jump itself. Those are the 2 different types. For this one, you have a 2-block high ceiling on the momentum. So 2bc is ceiling, and then momentum is mm, so this is 2bc mm. And then here's another example. This is the same thing, but this time it's 2.5 block ceiling because it's a slab. So this is a 2.5 BC momentum. For this one, the ceiling is not on the momentum anymore, but you may notice that this is 3 blocks high. If you don't know, a 3-block ceiling actually makes you jump lower than otherwise, so this jump is actually really hard to complete. In this case, this is a 3BC instead of a 3BC MM, which just means that it's a 3BC on the jump itself instead of on the momentum. One extra note is that sometimes these 2 jumps are given the same name, which is 3BC 4B. There's a little bit of ambiguity there that usually doesn't matter, but if this is really important, then you can say 3BC MM or no 3BC MM to clarify. And then one of the last things is that we're going to talk about when you don't have full blocks, which is probably more applicable to real maps. You probably don't have these full blocks all the time. So you would use the same process. You know, this is a 3-block jump, but you're going from a block to a chest. So you write it like this: block to chest, 3B. Similarly, this is a slab to cobble wall 2-block jump. And this is a pane to fence 2 block jump or 3 block jump, depending on, because it kind of looks like it's 3 blocks, it's ambiguous. There are a ton more random notation things that I wanted to talk about in this video originally, but this is getting quite long, so I'm just going to end it here. I'll post some extra things in the comments if you're interested though. See you in the next one.